Okay, here is Rainbows and Sunshine, and my amazing, wonderful working student Alyssa is back from school. She goes to the University of Kentucky, and so she's back for her summer break. I'm actually a little annoyed at her because she's leaving to study abroad in Scotland for a month, but she will be here for most of the summer, thank goodness. So she just started back this week, and Miss Rainbow here is the first horse I've had her sit on since she's been back. And so she's never sat on Rainbow before today. And I just said, let's go out to the field. So, it's a big ask to put Alyssa on a horse she doesn't know, go ride in the field. All the things are going on, but they were fantastic. I thought they looked absolutely adorable together. So Rainbows and Sunshine is a 15 three-hand 5-year-old thoroughbred mare by Rainbow Air, and she's out of a flatter mare, which I love. She has 23 career starts, and she's run a bunch this year. She's had just 6 starts this year. Her last one was on May 1st, so she's 2 weeks post track right now. This is probably her fifth ride, I'm gonna say. I think this is her fifth or her sixth ride since she's been off the track. So she's been turned out for about the last week in a big 5-acre field with Penelope and Cowboy, which is adorable because she's so small and they're so big compared to her. And turnout has just absolutely worked wonders for her on her body. She looks so good to me. I don't think she looks tight at all behind anymore. I think she is moving super nicely, especially in the hind end, which is where she had been tight when she first came off the track. So I'm absolutely thrilled with how she's looking physically. I'm also thrilled with her brain because she was so good for this whole adventure out here in the field, and the dogs are roaming around and just all the things, and she was so excellent, and I just think she's absolutely adorable. The video is a little short because I was supposed to be taking video and Billy was supposed to be taking pictures. However, I proved incapable of videoing and coaching at the same time. So at some point, about halfway through the ride, it became clear that I was not going to be capable of videoing, so Billy took over videoing duties. But it's plenty to see that she's just absolutely adorable and perfect. So I rode her yesterday out in the same field, and I was so happy with her because I felt like I really, really got her straight up off that right shoulder. They all tend to have one shoulder that they want to lean on more than the other. And for her, it's the right shoulder, which I would say is probably the more common. So when you're going to the left, you're really babysitting the outside shoulder, and when you're going to the right, you're working on finding some inside bend, right flexion, like thinking about the beginnings of shoulder in, that type of thing. And so I was right here the other day riding her in this part of the field where, of course, you're sort of going by the gate and everything that leads back towards the barn. So if they're going to lean on a shoulder, it's going to be heaviest there. And I wasn't even asking her to canter. I was just sort of, giving a good kick with my right leg to try and get her straight, which I did. And I guess I straightened her up so much that she just did the most lovely little leftly canter depart, which was wonderful and such a light bulb because up until then, I'd only gotten the left lead over poles, which again, totally normal trajectory, but it's always exciting that first time that they do a nice canter depart without having to use poles or anything to get it. So that was super exciting. She gave me a really nice left canter yesterday. Of course, I was riding by myself yesterday, so there's no video or picture proof, but it was lovely. Now, with Alyssa, we didn't mess around with trying to get the left lead because Alyssa's not ridden her before and they don't know each other and all the things. It just, today was not the day to be pushing things like that. I thought that they were excellent together and that doing the right canter was plenty good enough. But where I'm going with this is that getting the left lead for her has absolutely nothing to do with tightness. It only has to do with getting her straight. And once you get her shoulders straight, she just steps into the left lead and it's no problem. Of course, she also doesn't quite understand all the cues yet and that sort of thing, but it's just where she is in the on the training scale at the moment, but she is super super willing to give it a go, and she's always listening and trying. And she's just such a super little mare. So this is my small dressage ring that we're riding in. And what I like to do with horses at any level, of course I'm mostly riding babies, is, school them a little bit inside the parameters of the ring. But I also like to just ride them around the pond and weave in and out of the ring a little bit to take the pressure off so they don't feel like they're in such a tight, pressurized environment for the whole ride. She also just did such a nice little walk around when we were taking a break. She even was wanting to do a little bit of stretch in this walk, which was super. She might have been stretching for grass. I don't know. You'd have to ask her, but I'll take it either way. She was super.